Time is ticking away and the buzz is palpable as we inch close to IPL 2025 retention deadline day. Hello and welcome to Republic World. I am Ankit Banerjee and I am joined by Jishu over here, who's my colleague. And here in this session, we are going to speak about the biggest talking points that are doing the rounds in the build-up to the event. Without wasting any time, let's get started and let's address the elephant in the room. That is Virat Kohli. There has been so much of talk around Virat Kohli, and the rumors that are doing the rounds suggest that Virat Kohli is going to become the captain of RCB. My sources deny that. They say that he's not going to become the captain of RCB. What do your sources have to tell, Jishu?
See, even if the sources say they approve or they don't approve, logically, if you think, I don't think that Virat Kohli will lead RCB. Reason being that he's in the fag end of his career. He has stepped away from T20 internationals, and IPL is a very high pressure tournament, right? I know RCB are on their lookout for the next captain, but Virat Kohli, he stepped down from the captaincy role in 2021. So, in the fag end of his career, he would concentrate more on, enjoying his cricket, enjoying his time with RCB. So, I don't think that is happening. Of course, we all need headlines, we all need eyeballs. So, these reports might be doing the round. But if you are to ask my opinion, I don't think Virat will return as the RCB captain.
Whenever you think of the magnum opus called the IPL, you of course think about MS Dhoni. That is the kind of strong bond IPL and MS Dhoni have. I feel it's a better love story than Twilight. There has been so much speculation about MS Dhoni. Will CSK actually go for him, or is it high time MS Dhoni is going to hang up his boots? What happens to MS Dhoni?
See, we heard Dhoni speak a few days back, right? He said that I want to play my cricket, I want to enjoy my cricket, right? I stay away from the limelight. So now what happens with MS Dhoni? Only MS Dhoni can answer that. But looking at how things have panned out, I think CSK will retain him. Now there's an uncapped player in the rule, uncapped players rule, that is in the place, which were announced a few months back. So what happens with the uncapped player rule is that if a player hasn't played international cricket for 5 years, he can be, applicable for that rule. And MS Dhoni, I'd like to remind you, played his last international match for India in 2019. So seeing that and looking at what the uncapped player rule is, I won't be surprised if CSK, retain Dhoni. Of course, they won't be his number one retention, I feel. But CSK should, retain Dhoni, and I think he will be retained this year.
Fans would be surely be hoping that Dhoni is retained. That's the kind of enigma he is, the kind of stature MS Dhoni has. Let's talk about another character over here in this entire rigmarole that is happening. Let's talk about KL Rahul. There has been so much talk about KL Rahul leaving LSG releasing KL Rahul, not retaining him, and there have been talks about KL Rahul going to RCB, his home side in a way. What happens to KL Rahul in a scenario like this? You think LSG is going to let go of KL Rahul?
I mean, see, as far as LSG and KL Rahul are concerned, there has been pin drop silence. No one actually knows what has been going around KL Rahul. Of course, now people are drawing out these parallels between KL Rahul and RCB because, Rahul was a fantastic opener for RCB. He played for RCB in the past. But right now, as far as I see it, I think Rahul might be, retained by LSG. They have a new coaching staff in place. So I don't think, if you ask me that Virat Kohli as RCB's captain is, not a very big deal. But KL Rahul to RCB is a bigger mystery than MS Dhoni playing the IPL right now.
There has been another rumor making the rounds, and that is about Rishabh Pant. I come to Shreyas Iyer a little late. Let's talk about Rishabh Pant. In case, hypothetically, let's think about it. In case the Capitals release him, a number of teams would be looking for a captain and a wicket keeper. So he brings a lot to the table. What happens to Pant? Is he going to be retained by the Capitals tomorrow?
See, if Pant is not retained by Capitals, I surely see him going to Punjab Kings. Now, Punjab Kings want a wicketkeeper, Punjab Kings want a captain, and the cherry on the top, who's their head coach? Ricky Ponting. Pant and Ricky Ponting have been chalk and cheese through all these years, right? When Pant was injured, when Pant was, after that horrific accident that he had, Pant was always backed by Ricky Ponting. Ponting has always spoken about Pant. So, if Delhi do not retain Pant, and seeing the working relationship that Pant and Ricky share, I think surely Pant will go to Punjab. Ponjab will vouch for him, and you'll break the bank for a player like someone like a Pant, who is also your future Indian captain as well.
There is another player Ricky Ponting and Punjab would be interested in, and that I feel is going to be Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer, Ricky Ponting, I think they teamed up together to help Delhi Capitals reach the final a few seasons back. So now you think that union happening in Punjab? Because there are talks that KKR might actually release Shreyas Iyer because of his injury and injury problems and all of that. So do you think Punjab making a move for Shreyas Iyer because he's a captain, he's got a good equation with Ricky Ponting, they've worked together in the past. You see that happening?
See, seldom does it happen that a IPL winning captain is released and let go of next year. I mean, it will be a huge move if the rumors that we are hearing, if they come to be true and KKR happen to release Shreyas Iyer, I mean, it will be a huge move. And as far as Iyer is concerned, see, why not? Iyer can also go to RCB, right? They also need a title. They also need a captain. He's fresh out of the blocks. He's won a tournament last year as a captain. So I feel that he might also go to RCB, but I don't think that KKR will release their IPL winning captain. I mean, you never know what happens in the IPL retentions.
Not a lot of people have been talking about Joss Butler. Just a couple of hours back, we were discussing about Joss Butler and the fact that will Rajasthan Royals actually retain him? Because a couple of months back, or maybe 3-4 months back, I thought Joss Butler is a sure shot retention. But now I think otherwise. You think Rajasthan Royals is going to, retain him?
They should, of course, retain Joss Butler, but there are multiple facets to it, right? Butler in Rajasthan is not being used to his full capability, right? He's purely a wicket-keeper batsman, but he doesn't get to keep wickets for Rajasthan that often. And he's England's white ball captain, so I mean, and to bring it to the viewers' light, the next T20 World Cup will be played in India. Butler would want that exposure of leading a team on Indian soil, and nothing better from doing it in an IPL season, right? So if we take these things into consideration, Butler might move out of the RR setup. But if you are to take my opinion, I don't think Rajasthan will release Butler. If he has to be released, he'll have a better option at his hands. And wherever Butler goes, apart from Rajasthan Royals, he should be the captain.
Okay, let's talk about Pat Cummins, another captain who did really well, took his team, led his team to the Summit Clash. Of course, in the final they lost to KKR, but another guy, and I've heard rumors that SRH may not actually retain Cummins. So what happens in that case? They will also be looking for a captain.
SRH will retain Cummins. He's a World Cup winning captain. He's retained the Ashes, right? He took them to the finals last year. He just, changed the entire setup of SRH last year. So I don't think that is going to happen. SRH will retain Pat Cummins.
I hope in this session you figured out what the permutation combinations the franchisees would be, looking at. We gave you a rough idea as to what can be expected tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us in this session on Republic World. Stay tuned to this channel for all the latest across sports. Thank you so much.